My dear family, today we read about two miracles recorded in the Gospel of Mark. Mark is the author of today's Gospel, the author of one of the four Gospels. Or in other words, he is the author of today's biography of Jesus, which records his life events. Mark is known to be the shortest of all the Gospels. So if you're looking to read a summary of all the Gospels, or if you're looking to read a Cliff Notes version of the Gospels, go to Mark. Yet it is this Gospel that contains the most amount of detail in comparison to the other Gospels. It contains the most amount of miracles in comparison to the other Gospels. Hence why, if you read the Gospel of Mark, it feels as if it is rushed. One miracle after another miracle after another miracle, almost leaving the reader no space to rest. Today's Gospel is an example of that. There were two miracles recorded one after the other, one in the middle of another miracle. Jesus, on the journey to heal the daughter of a synagogue official, heals another woman along the way. To summarize today's Gospel, Jesus is asked by a synagogue official to please heal his daughter who is dying. So Jesus, of course, rushes by foot to the house of this official. Being a synagogue official also means that he comes from a very faithful Jewish family. So of course Jesus will go rushing to heal his daughter. So Jesus sets himself on a journey and goes to his house. However, we learn from today's Gospel that there is a very important detail. It says that there is a huge crowd gathered around him, one on top of the other. It was difficult to move around. Everyone is just pushing against each other. Yet Jesus notices that amongst this commotion, someone touched his garments. Someone with faith, with deep faith, touched his clothes. And he says that power left him. And instead of continuing on his journey to the house of the synagogue official, he stops. He stops right on his tracks. And even though there is a daughter of a faithful official waiting to be healed, he starts to investigate amongst the many people who followed him. He wants to know who was that faithful person. And it happened to be that that faithful person was a Gentile woman. The woman, realizing what's going on, decides to reveal herself in fear. And she reveals that she was the one who touched his clothes. Keep in mind, she's Gentile. Then he continues on his journey after curing this woman and cleaning her. He continues on his journey to heal the daughter of a faithful Jew. But as soon as he starts this journey, it says that in the middle of him speaking, officials of the synagogue approached Jairus, the faithful Jew, and they tell him that his daughter is now dead, that there is no need to bother the master anymore. Hope is lost. Do not bother. Yet Jesus tells them, have faith, believe. Your daughter is not dead, but she's asleep. But today's Gospel tells us that they laughed. They ridiculed him because they thought that not even Jesus could now save her. So they laughed, thinking that there is no more hope. Here, my dear family, we have the story of Jesus' power at work in both in a Gentile woman with faith and with the daughter of a faithful family who lacked the fullness of faith. Gentile basically means non-Jewish, or in other words, it will be the equivalent of a non-believer. So these women knew that she approaching Jesus was out of the ordinary. It was not normal. It was actually frowned upon. She therefore approaches Jesus in fear because she did not know what would happen. Yet, as a non-believer, as a Gentile woman, she had deep faith and knew that at least if she touched the cloak of the Master, she will be healed. And then we also have the daughter of a Jewish family, a believer family. And they laughed at Jesus because they did not have faith that even Jesus will heal her. The symbol of a daughter traditionally means the church on earth, or the church militant, the church in time. Sometimes, my dear family, sometimes we may act like the synagogue officials, especially in today's church. We may be faithful, but at the same time, we may laugh at Jesus because we may think that the church on earth has no more hope. We may fall into deep despair. We may think that the church is now dead. There is no more hope. Not even Jesus can now save us. We may fall into lack of hope, thinking that there is no one else to save us. While in the meantime, what Jesus is doing is healing our unbelief, healing the things that we do not have faith on, taking care where we bleed the most. Just like in today's gospel, my dear family, at the end of the day, Jesus healed both the Gentile woman and the daughter of a faithful family. No matter how much despair there is, especially in today's church, the Lord will still come to heal us. There is hope. There is faith. We are not dead, but we're just asleep. Hence I tell you, arise, awake, and have faith. In the meantime, my dear family, what Jesus may be doing is healing your unbelief. Let us therefore pray to have the same faith and the same hope that the gentle woman had, who even though she knew she was not as important as the daughter of a faithful Jew, she still dared to believe. She still dared to have faith. She still dared to hope. Let us then pray for that same hope in the middle of our despair.